everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Crypto Chats. I have a friend with me here today. This is one of my best friends. Her name is Maddie. She's gonna help me talk to you guys about the Fresno Nightcrawlers.
Woo!
So the Fresno Nightcrawlers, I'm sure you guys have all seen the videos of these weird pants walking around the hillside, doing their thing. Yeah, I mean, they're super silly.
They're so silly. That's why I love them so much.
They really are. They're one of my favorite cryptids. Like, they're so funny. So I'm very excited to talk about them today. Okay, so starting in like the 1990s, people were seeing these weird creatures walking around. And there's even like reported sightings. Like nowadays, I'm sure with the pandemic and everything too, like people are inside their house more. So there's a really big bug trying to get in my window right now. It just flew away. Oh, it's on the edge.
I want to see it.
Oh, it's a wasp.
Oh, fuck that. Never mind.
Stay out there. Anyway, I think with the pandemic, I've definitely been seeing a lot of posts about cryptids, like, and the possibility of like there being more sightings once people start going out in the world again, because there's been such a lack of humanity for so long that all of a sudden, all these creatures are like, oh, cool, like we can be out in the world again. Sounds good. So I would assume that, you know, once we get further into like normalcy again, we'll start hopefully seeing more reports of sightings. But basically, so Fresno, California, I'm sure everybody has seen the videos of these night crawlers. The first like recorded sighting of them was in 2007, which is super cool, but also like, how did it take that long for someone to get a video of them? Because like, if it were me, I would have been like holding my GoPro at the window every night being like, where is it? Because I just like love to see that shit.
Right?
If you're not familiar with the night crawlers, we'll paint you a little picture of what they look like.
So some would say that they're sentient ants. They're basically like, here's an example. They're basically like tiny little head, but mostly legs, and they kind of like
they walk really weird.
Like almost like if you had like chopsticks and like there's no bending and you swivel
like
and they
stilts almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It almost looks like somebody on stilts, and like what I thought was really interesting is like it looks like some kind of fabric on the pants
or
the
flowy
legs. Yeah, it's very flowy. It doesn't look solid. So I think that's pretty cool.
And I like too, there's like a weird detail of the night crawlers that you notice really when you're watching the videos of them is the way they walk is they'll take a couple steps and then their whole body turns while their head stays straight looking in the direction of where it was going. And then they'll take a few more steps and their body turns again, which is just really strange.
So weird, because why?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be for a purpose.
It's weird too, because if it was fabric, it would like get all twisted.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm begging for somebody to get a real close encounter with one of these weirdos, just so that like that question can be answered of like, what the fuck are you made of? Because I want to know.
What is your substance?
I want to know how they twist like that without tying themselves in knots. Because that's crazy.
But yeah, you can't really see much of their heads in any of the videos. It's just like a small, like it's mostly just legs, like 2 legs and a small head. And so I'd be very interested to see better details of one of these guys.
Yeah, it's crazy because there's never been a close enough encounter for anybody to get like any solid details of what like the upper half of this body looks like, because it's very much like a weird wishbone almost with like a tiny little noggin on top, and like nobody, you know, the only like recorded footage we have of them are these videos, one in Fresno, California, and then one in Yosemite National Park, where neither of the videos are close enough for people to be able to make out any details past it being legs and a fucking head. So I would love to be interested, like I'd love to know like what their faces look like, you know, like what kind of face
do they have eyes? Like what's the deal? It looked like in the videos they had like some kind of eye,
something.
But
I'm like, do you have a mouth? Do you have a nose? Like, what do you actually look like? And I think it's you know, I'm just patiently waiting for more like footage of like a really close encounter and not just them walking through the yard or them just chilling in a national park. It's cool too because the reason they caught the ones in Yosemite is because they were like the park rangers of Yosemite National Park were like just fucking tired of people like leaving trash everywhere and like trespassing. So they put up a bunch of trail cams to try to like catch the hooligans that were trashing the national park.
But
and instead caught these weird fucking pants walking around on their own.
Sentient pants!
The sentient pants strolling through having a midnight walk. Just hanging out. And then we're just like, okay, well, I guess this is here too. I don't know. I think it's neat.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too because the first like recorded sighting, the one in 2007 from Fresno, was taken by this like man named Jose. That's all the information he gave to reporters because he was like scared shitless of this encounter. His dogs would bark at night, and he was like constantly trying to figure out why his dogs were barking all the time. You know, the man's not sleeping. He's like, I gotta get up at 4 a.m. to go to work. Shut the fuck up, please. Please stop yelling. So he installed security cameras to try to figure out what his dogs were barking at. And that's what he caught on the security cameras is these weird fucking night crawlers walking through his yard. And he's like, oh, duh, yeah, that's what my dog's fucking barking at. This weird fucking linen pants that are walking through my yard right now.
The fact that he, like, would only say the name Jose, which I'm pretty sure isn't even his real name, is what makes it more interesting for me, because a lot of people, when they tried to, like, disprove that video or whatever, were just saying, like, it's for attention, like, he just wants to get famous or blah, blah, blah. He wanted nothing to do with this.
He really
didn't. He was terrified. No more information about this man has ever come out, and that's what I thought was interesting. He was interviewed by
a couple different people, and he would not give them any information about himself because he was legitimately scared that it would backfire and like come back to harm him in some way. And that's crazy because like obviously if you have developed this hoax and you're really trying to get people, like I feel like you would want to be the one who caught it, you know, like you want to be known as like the person who figured it out, the person who caught it on camera. So it's like, it's pretty telling that this guy was like so fucking scared that he was like, you get a fake name, you get no information about me. This is a very vague story of what happened because I'm scared, leave me be.
Yeah, why would you go to that much effort to do that?
Just to be like, no, I take no credit.
No, it wasn't
Sorry,
me.
no. Yeah, that's all like nuts to me. And it's weird too because after, you know, the second video from Yosemite came out, a lot of people tried to recreate these videos to try to prove that it was a hoax.
Right.
In 2010, that sci-fi show Fact or Faked did an episode on Nightcrawlers, and they tried a bunch of different ways to recreate this phenomena that was being seen and failed in every way. And they decided to just be like, you know what, this is real, we've decided we can't recreate it, and we have all of these resources. But then later, once technology progressed a little bit more, people were able to recreate it with movie magic, which I'm like, that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since he wasn't using that. And I don't even think that was around in 2007, was it?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on when CGI came into play, so I'm not gonna say.
but I doubt this man had access to it, even if it was.
Well, yeah, and in 2010, it's like, you know, these people were going out of their way to try to recreate this, like with the way that it moves, and then what we were talking about earlier with the fact that it's fabric, it's like flowy, you know, looking skin, I guess we'll say, can twist on itself without getting caught and tangled. It's like you kind of can't really, how would you even make that?
How do you go about that? That's what makes me wonder, is that their skin, or is it like a suit made of like
linen?
Weird.
Aliens have linen.
Special linen.
They came to Earth for linen only. Give me the linen!
And they perfected it so it doesn't twist. So
yeah, I mean,
thank you, Nightcrawlers.
I kind of do think that Nightcrawlers are probably alien. I know this is the fourth video I've done now where I've been like, yeah, it's probably an alien. But, because like some of them just like, I'm like, you have to just, some of it has to be an alien.
Right.
But I think Nightcrawlers are one of the ones that I'm like pretty sold on the theory of them being something alien.
Me too, and that's why I think that the linen look is like almost like their spacesuit. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like,
or it's their Earth suit.
oh, makes more sense.
They were like, maybe if we show up as pants, no one will be afraid of us.
They love pants.
The humans love pants. They're not scared of pants.
And that's the thing is, like, in the videos, they're really cute and stuff, but
They are pretty
if
cute.
I saw that in real life, I would absolutely lose my mind. I'd be so terrified. They're
Yeah.
cute from a distance, but thinking about seeing giant walking pants.
Well, actually, it's crazy. It's funny too because they did like a piece of hair just like was in my eyeball. When they like analyzed this footage, they scaled it too to try to figure out like how tall they actually were, and the tallest one was like 4 feet tall. So they're not even that big. They're just like little fucking
guys.
like they're about as tall as my roommate Tasha. And
Is
I'll
Tasha
tell you,
encrypted?
if Tasha was walking around in a giant pair of pants, I would be concerned, I'm sure, but not. I don't know if I'd be afraid.
That's true.
Because they're tiny. Like, you know, they've like, you know, proven at this point that they're like pretty small. And in the footage of Yosemite too, there were 2 different sized ones.
Yeah,
There
the
was, like,
smaller one.
the smaller one, which I think is a little baby, which
Yeah.
is kind of precious.
Baby
It's like they're
Nightcrawler.
just like, oh, baby's first stroll through Yosemite as pants.
How nice.
It is like kind of wholesome. Like they're
Yeah.
just a little family going on like a moonlit walk through the national park. The
I'm so
beauty of it
happy for
all.
them.
I know, and they were just chilling. Like they didn't even know there was a camera there. I bet they were just doing their weird little walk, hanging out. I like them. I think they're cute.
They're so cute.
It's cool too because a lot of like experts. There were a lot of people who were like experts in these fields, paranormal investigators. There's Victor Camacho, who's a paranormal investigator in California, and then Michael Banty, who writes for Weird Fresno, and they're, you know, both pretty well versed on these happenings, especially Victor Camacho being a paranormal investigator, and they both made statements being like pretty damn sure that this was a real thing. Which is cool. And like, you know, we are all sure that hoaxes do follow. You know, you get one thing, one happening, one, you know, instance of phenomena, and people just, they're like, but I want to have that fame too. Or like, I want to see that too. So they'll kind of create this situation for themselves. But it's neat when people who are professionals and like do this kind of stuff for a living are like, no, that's real. That one happened.
Seriously. Thanks for the backup.
Yeah, truly. So, also, this episode's kind of like a little bit of a 2-part thing, because there is another, like, creature spotting that happened in December of 2014 in Ohio, that was super, super similar to the Nightcrawlers, that a lot of people kind of lump them together. When you Google Fresno Nightcrawlers, you often will see this creature called the Carmel area creature. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that too, because it lives in the same vein as the Nightcrawlers. So in Carmel, Ohio, or the Carmel area. I cannot talk. I know, I really am so bad at speaking. So in this area of Ohio in December of 2014, there was a couple, a 6-year-old couple. Their names, they never like let anyone have their names, so they're just these unnamed old people who saw this thing happen. And while they were driving home, they saw this weird creature come up over the hill, and just there it was, and then it just scooted on out. And they basically described it as very, very similar to a Nightcrawler, with the exception of its knees were backwards, which is fucking weird. It's so, like, basically, like, picture a Nightcrawler, but with more of a body, like little bit more body, than just legs and a head. So it's like a little more, and then backwards legs. Like, you know when people, like, their knees are, like, bowed, and they, like, sit funny? That, I guess, is, like, how you would describe it. Like, it's just, like, their knees are backwards. I don't know. They walk weird.
Something's not right.
Yeah, it's like if you took your leg and you put it on backwards by accident, you'd be this creature, I guess.
I hate when that happens.
I know. I hate when I mess up and put my leg on backwards. But anyway, they're also like 7 feet tall. So another huge difference there is that it is not a tiny little baby. It is a large thing that walks backwards with weird knees. And so there was like a report from these witnesses that never gave their names. And Maddie's gonna read it.
All right. So they have recently bought a place in the Fort Hill area in southeast Highland County. They said they first noticed after about 30 days of living there that they suddenly have perfect circles of fresh green grass no matter the weather in the front yard. Weird. On Friday night, December 12th, they were driving home. After turning on Carmel Road, which leads to their road, we went around the curve by Carmel Church and then up a small incline, and approximately 10 feet over the incline and in front of the truck, this alien ran across the road and into the woods. So it just ran in front of them.
It's like, see ya.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Fuck it. Had
See you
places to be, people to
Very
see,
busy.
things to do. This one is like kind of, it kind of just dwindles from here because no one ever saw it again. And a lot of people were just like, yeah, it was probably a deer.
Yeah, but like also...
Yeah,
What?
a deer running on its hind legs. Well, I did look into that because I was like, that sounds fucking absurd.
Can they
but
do
I
that?
did. Yeah, they can do that.
That's so scary.
At least for like enough of a distance to make an impact to be like, what the fuck was that? Like, so I did like really research this because I was like, that sounds fucking crazy. But also like, think of like deer's legs. Like they're weird.
That's true.
Like they might look like it was back. I mean, maybe it was running backwards. I don't really know. Like I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't know too much about that. But they also said that it might be a heron, which if you think of like a heron's legs, that's like, yeah,
true.
The way that they described like the placement of the kneecap and stuff, like a heron does make a little bit more sense. But it doesn't explain the body.
And the height, too.
Yeah.
Never seen a heron that big. They're big, but
Yeah.
not like 7 feet big. That'd be scary.
Most things would be scary at 7 feet. I think a heron would definitely be one of them. Yeah, I think it's weird because it's like, I don't know, it's like how, I don't know. Why would a deer do that?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Is the deer okay? If
Probably
that's
not.
the case?
I can't imagine he's alright if he's running across the road on 2 legs.
Somebody check on the deer.
I know, you should have found him. You should have followed him and I'm like, are you okay?
We're only 6 years too late.
Yeah, I mean, well, we could go look now and check him out and see if he's okay. Yeah, so Nightcrawlers are really weird. We love them. They're so cool. This guy, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Cryptid Comforts. For this guy here, is super cute. I have a subscription to the Cryptid Crate. If you don't already and you like cryptids like I do, you should definitely get it because it's a lot of cool stuff that you get every month. And this came in my most recent one. So that's Cryptid Comforts. They have, I'm just gonna, yeah, okay. They have a bunch of different stuff. I was scrolling through Etsy the other night and found their Mothman and found a bunch of other things that they make. Super cool, very cute, and also just like how can you not live without this? Or how can you live without this, rather?
Something like that.
Something like that.
It's cute, right?
It's very cute. But yeah, so we stand Nightcrawlers in this house.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you think about them. If you think that they might be like an animal hybrid, some sort of like extraterrestrial, like let us know what you think about Nightcrawlers and their origins.
Drop your theories.
Yeah, let's hear them. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get more mindless rambling about cryptids.
It's my favorite, personally.
Thanks, Maddie.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And hopefully you guys will see Maddie in some future episodes as well. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.